Hi all, good morning. I am PK. This C language tutorial is for beginners. Let's try to understand several basic concepts with a small program. I'm going to write a program to add just two numbers. I'll first write the program and then explain everything line by line. Try to observe what I am writing. While writing this program, you may come across some new words, but don't worry. By the end of this video, you will get an idea of what they are. Let's start writing the program. Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h. These two are header files. And what is header file and why are we using these two header files in our C program? To know the answer, just wait a second. And then void main. Main is a function. Every C program will have this main function, and void is the return type. And all the instructions should be written within this open and closing curly braces. So what is a function and what is void? We can discuss all these things in detail in upcoming lessons, but for now just try to remember that main is a function that every C program should have, and all the instructions should be written within this open and closing curly braces. And then int a comma b comma c semicolon. Just try to observe what I'm writing now. I'll explain all these things in detail at the end of the program. Then clr ser clear screen, assign some value to a is equal to 10, and then b is equal to 20, and c is equal to a plus b. Try to print the result using printf. Total is %t, print the value of c, get ch. Now try to compile the program using Alt F9. We don't have any errors or warnings. Then press Ctrl F9 to run the program. So total is 30. Perfect. Now let's try to understand the program line by line. I have taken a screenshot of our C program and pasted in this Excel so that I can make use of some of these tools for better explanation. If you look at the name of the program, it is 01sample.c. So our program should have .c as an extension. Here we are using a word program. What is a program? We are trying to instruct computer to perform some steps. So this set of instructions is called a program. You know that computer understands only machine language which has zeros and ones. So if computer has to perform all these steps, it should first understand these instructions. For that, we take help of compiler to translate these instructions to machine understandable language. So compiler is a software which translates our C program to machine understandable code. Alt F9 is the shortcut to compile the code. If we observe carefully all these lines within the main function, they are ending with a semicolon. So every statement in the main function should end with a semicolon. And this first line of statement is called variable declaration statement. Let's see what exactly happens when this line of code is executed. Let's consider this as memory. It takes 3 places in the memory. 1, 2, and 3. And it names these 3 locations as A, B, and C. So we are instructing computer to take 3 memory locations and name them as A, B, and C. Then what is this int? Actually, we are declaring these 3 variables to store some values in these memory locations in the later stage of the program. So here we can save some numbers like 5, 10, 20, etc. So what is this 10, 20 and 5 and all? So what are we storing in this memory location is nothing but data. So what kind of data we are storing here? We are storing numbers. We want to store numbers here. So if we want to store numbers without decimals, those are called integers. So while declaring the variables, we should also tell the computer that what kind of information that we are going to store in that memory location. So we want to store integers. So that's why we are mentioning this as int. So this int is called is a data type. So what kind of data that we are storing here, we should also tell the computer in the beginning itself. So here we cannot store any numbers like 2.5, 7.6, etc. To store this kind of numbers, we should mention this data type differently, like float or double, which we'll discuss in upcoming lessons. Next function is clrscr, clear screen. So it just clears the result screen. So we know that the clrscr is to clear the screen, but if compiler has to understand this clrscr, the definition of this clrscr function is available in conio.h header file, which comes with the C software. So if compiler has to translate this clrscr, we should also provide the definition of the clrscr, which is there in this conio.h. So we include this preprocessor statement using this #include conio.h. So when compiling the program, along with this program that we wrote, it also includes the information that is there in this conio.h and gives it to compiler so that it can translate successfully, right? And the next statement is a is equal to 10. So here we are trying to assign 10 to a. So here we can store 10. It just stores the 10 in this memory location named a. Then b is equal to 20, simply stores the 20 in b. And next c is equal to a plus b. So it takes the values that are there in a and b and it adds those two numbers and stores the value in c. So here 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 will be stored in c. And the next statement is printf. So whatever you give in quotations within this printf function will be displayed as it is. So if you write total is c, then it will display total is c. But what we need here is we want to display the value that is there in this memory location c. So to show the value in an integer, we should give a format specifier called %d. After this comma, we have to give the variable name. So it displays total is, instead of this %d, it displays the variable that we mentioned after this. So it displays the total is 30. Again, printf is a function to display the values that we give in these quotations. So the definition of this printf function is available in this stdio.h, standard input output.h. We have to give the definition of this printf function to the compiler. So for that purpose, we are including here #include stdio.h. And the next one is getch. We are giving this statement just to wait till we see the result in the result screen, that is user screen. Now let's try to play with the program with different values. Let's assume that it executed only till this point. So it assigns a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. So I'm deleting this 30 here. As you can see, we are still in Excel. Here I'm trying to assign some different value to a is equal to 5. Earlier we asked to assign 10 to a, and now again we are asking it to assign 5. So what happens now is it will not check for any other previous value. It will simply execute what we say. Here we are just instructing computer to assign 5. It overwrites the value that is already there in this a and it assigns 5 to it. Now if it executes the next statement, what will be the value? it takes the value from A and B. So A has 5 and B has 20. So the sum of these two, 25, will be stored in C. Right? Now if you execute this, you will get a result of C. And what are the shortcuts? Alt F9 is to compile. First we have to compile the program and see if it has any errors or warnings. We can ignore warnings, but if it has any errors, we should first correct them before running the program. We have to first correct them and compile the program again. Then we have to run it. Control plus F9 is to run the program. And if you want to see the result again, you can press Alt F5 to see the user screen, to see results. Okay, now I'll make a small change here. Try to guess the answer. After C is equal to A plus B, I'm giving some value to B, some 50. Now try to guess the answer. We know that computer performs all these steps in the same order that we wrote here. So first it assigns 3 variables. Let's clear this first. First it assigns 3 variables. It clears the screen. It assigns 10, A is equal to 10. And the next line is B is equal to 20, so it stores 20 in B. And again A, we are replacing A with 5, so A is equal to 5. C is equal to A plus B, which means 5 plus 20 is 25. And now we are assigning 50 to B, so B is equal to 50. Now we are trying to print the total. Total is %d, C. So what is there in C now? 25. Though we change the value of B here, the C is still displaying 25 because we have taken the sum of these two variables before assigning 50 to B, right? So that's why it is displaying only 25. Here A, B and C are variables. So what is a variable? A variable is nothing but it is some place in memory and it has some name and we can store some data. Can we store any data here? No. We can store data of its data type. So a variable is nothing but some place in the memory and it has some name and it can store some data of its data type that can be varied throughout the program, right? So a variable is nothing but a named memory location that can store value of its data type and that can be varied throughout the program. That's it. Let me try to execute the same program and show you the result with different values. To compile this, we have to press Alt F9. No warnings and no errors. Press any key, then press Ctrl F9. Total is 30. It displayed the result and waiting here as we have given get.ch. If you press any key, it will come back to this code. If you want to comment the code, you can simply type to / so that it won't execute that code. If you try to press Ctrl F9, see, it displayed the result and came back to this program quickly. So if you want to see the result, you have to press Alt F5. What happens if you don't give this clrsc function? Let's try to run the program. Let me uncomment this. Control F9. See, it is displaying total is 30 twice. Actually displayed only once. It displayed beside the result that was there already. So again, if you run the program now, it will display total is 30. So if you want to clear the screen, is equal to 5. As we have discussed, now it should display 25. Let's see. Control F9. 25. And after adding those two numbers, if you assign some value to any of those variables, let's see, what should be the value now? It should be 25 again, because we assigned 50 to B after taking the sum of those two values. 25. Thank you. See you soon with next lesson.